Hello, my name is George Kazwara and I'm the village manager of Orland Park. The village has been fielding a number of inquiries regarding the upcoming form of government referendum. There are almost 60,000 residents in Orland Park, and it's understandable that people have questions. As public servants, village personnel cannot offer opinion nor engage in advocacy during referendums or elections. Yet we still have a responsibility to be responsive to our residents. As a result, the village board has requested that staff provide answers within the parameters of the law to frequently asked questions. In order to assist with these responses to these questions, I am joined today by attorney Scott Euler of Kleinthorpe & Jenkins, the village's legal counsel. Between the two of us, we will attempt to answer your frequently asked questions, all while being mindful that we cannot offer opinion nor engage in advocacy. If you have additional questions or concerns, please visit us at orlandpark.org or email us at communications@orlandpark.org. The board's reasoning behind placing this referendum on the ballot. At its public January 16, 2023 board meeting, the board members discussed the purpose and rationale for submitting this question to the residents and voted unanimously to put the referendum on the ballot. This video links to discussion. I apologize in advance for the poor audio, as this was the first night with a new audio system as part of a renovated village boardroom project.
Does this referendum mean the mayor will become the village manager? At its meeting dated February 20th, the entire village board, acting as a committee of the whole, unanimously recommended the creation of a village manager position to run the day-to-day operations of the village if the statutory manager form of government does change. Further, Illinois law governing conflicts of interest prohibits the mayor from also serving as the village manager. A municipality adopting the manager form of government still retains its general structure as a mayor-village trustee form. However, the roles, functions, and powers of the various players will change.
We've been told that the mayor's salary will increase to $150,000 per year. Is this true? This referendum has nothing to do with the compensation of the village's elected officials. The mayor's current salary is $40,000 per year plus a $3,000 stipend as liquor commissioner. Any change to compensation must be done by ordinance at least 6 months prior to the new term of the elected official. The mayor is the liquor commissioner by state law currently, and this will not change regardless of the vote on the referendum.
Why is the referendum question stated the way it is? The wording certainly could be clearer. However, state law dictates the exact wording of this question. Our state law provides that this is the specific wording that needs to be placed on the ballot. To reiterate the question itself, the specific wording on the ballot reads, "Shall the Village of Orland Park retain the managerial form of municipal government?" Voting yes for this referendum will retain the current form of government, while voting no changes the form of government to the village trustee form of municipal government.
Can the village have a village manager if the form of government changes? Yes. Most municipalities hire a professional administrator. Each village board can still employ an appointed village manager to run the day-to-day operations of the village if it so chooses. The current Board of Trustees has recommended that a village manager position be created if the referendum vote does not retain our current form of government, which would be implemented with a simple amendment to the village code.
I attended a meeting at the library where an ICMA representative suggested that our current form of government would change to a strong mayor form of government. Is the form of government going to change to a strong mayor form if the no vote passes? The ICMA representative provided a lot of factual information at this meeting. Any suggestion or statement that the ballot choice is between the current form of municipal government and the strong mayor form of government, however, is not correct. The change to a strong mayor form of government would require express approval of such a change by village voters via separate referendum. The form of government that the village would go back to would be village trustee form of municipal government, which is very different from the strong mayor form that was used as a comparison at the event held at the library.
What type of government do our neighboring towns operate under? The nearest town with our current form of statutory manager form of government is Oak Lawn. In comparison, Tinley Park, Lamont, Mokina, Frankfort, Homer Glen, Alsip, Chicago Ridge, Evergreen Park, Justice, Marionette Park, and Orland Hills operate under the more common village trustee form of local government with an appointed village manager administrator, which is what the Orland Park Village Board is recommending that Orland Park would become if the statutory manager form of government is changed. Operationally, what would change under the new form of government? Currently, the village manager, once hired, appoints and removes all non-elected employees, including department directors of the village, as well as the village attorney. Additionally, he or she is responsible for enforcing the laws of the village. If the form of government changes, the mayor would appoint all non-elective officers, department directors, and assistant department directors, the police chief, and village attorney, with the advice and consent of the board. The mayor would also be responsible for enforcing the laws of the village. Additionally, currently the village board hires the village manager for a length contract that can't exceed 4 years. If the form of government changes, the mayor would appoint the village manager with advice and consent of the board for a length not longer than the mayor's term.
What does advice and consent of the board mean? It means board approval of a proposed action is then required. This means communicating regarding an action with the members of the Board of Trustees, and thereafter, the board approving the action by a majority vote of its members. What will be the powers, duties, and functions of the village manager if the referendum is approved and the Board of Trustees adopts the ordinance recommended by the Committee of the Whole? In summary, the village manager would be charged with the general administration of the village and would be responsible to the Village Board of Trustees for the proper administration of the affairs of the village. The individual serving as the village manager would continue to be required to devote all of his or her professional time to official village duties. The village manager would be responsible for the day-to-day operations of the village. Some of the key responsibilities of the village manager would include the following: enforce the laws and ordinances within the village at the direction of the mayor. Recommend to the Village Board of Trustees adoption of such measures as may be necessary or expedient. Appoint, suspend, or remove all employees of the village except those employees that are officers of the village and fall under the appointment powers of the mayor, those employees that are under the authority of the Police and Fire Commission, department heads and directors, and assistant department heads and directors, and finally the police chief. Recommend to the Village Board of Trustees the hiring of department heads and directors and/or assistant department heads and directors. Prepare a budget report indicating the funds necessary to defray the estimated expenditures of the village for the fiscal year. Represent the village in matters concerning the village and other governmental entities as directed by the mayor and Board of Trustees. And finally, perform such other duties and services consistent with the laws of the state of Illinois and the ordinances of the village as the mayor and Board of Trustees may from time to time direct or delegate.
Is there anywhere I can go to view more details about the referendum question? You can visit the village's website shown here. Thank you all for taking an active interest in your local government and the place we call home. This is a lot of information, but I hope this better explains the referendum question. Again, please visit orlandpark.org/elections to read more about this topic, and please reach out at any time with any additional questions or concerns. Thank you.